Welcome to Mixtapes and Tasty Cakes with your host Bert Laporte, Damian Monte Carlo, and Angry Mike D. Alright, sit back and enjoy the ride as they talk about all things that rock and other useless knowledge you don't care about. And remember, every asshole has an opinion. This is theirs. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe.
All right, we're back. Another episode of Mixtapes and Tasty Cakes. This one we're going to review the what is it, the 35th anniversary of Nitro O.F.R.
Yeah, just an excuse to get this one up there.
Yes. Yeah, because it's a classic album, and you either love it or hate it,
or hate to love it or love to hate it.
Yeah, and O.F.R. stands for out fucking rageous, which it is.
It definitely is.
For better or for worse. So.
Damian, speechless. So, okay, so Nitro, Out Fucking Rageous, O.F.R. came out in 1989 on Rampage. Rhino Records was the label, you know, I guess a sub of Rhino Records. Debut. How about this?
Well, I don't know if Rhino Records is a reissue album, so I don't know.
It's a part of Rhino. It was a part of Rhino.
This was on. What was it on? I can't remember. What did you
it
say?
Was on Rampage.
Rampage. Yeah. I looked at my tape. It was Rampage.
Yeah. It debuted at 164. How about that? In the Billboard 200. That's pretty good. That's pretty impressive. It stood on the charts for 9 weeks. 9 weeks. And it peaked at 140. Then it made the charts. Wow. I mean, of the times. They released 2 singles and 2 videos. Freight Train and Long Way From Home, which are worth watching. Absolutely worth watching. The classic lineup, Jim Gillette on vocals. I'll never say his name right. Michelangelo Battiato? I don't know.
Badio. Come on, man. You're Italian.
Badio.
Come on.
What the fuck? I added a little like Battiato. How you say it?
Badio.
It's easy. Okay.
I thought it would have been Bateo, but that's me.
Yeah, Scott Bateo. Scott Bateo. Tomato. TJ Racer on bass and Bobby Rock on drums, who came from the Vinnie Vincent Invasion, right? So he did Vinnie Vincent Invasion. I believe he did Nitro, and then he went on the Nelson. That's it. I think that was the order.
Maybe. He was probably the best part of the band.
He was good. Not to confuse, as Mike would say, Bobby Rock with Bob Rock. 2 different.
I thought for years that was fucking Rock. I'm like, he had a producer. He's on drums on this album.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, so the way we do it, we take we rate everything from 1 to 10 individually. We take all those numbers, we squash it together, come out with an average, and we go through this record review. We just talk about our least favorite as a panel to our favorite song as a panel. Some stuff we agree, some stuff we don't, and then we'll give our final thoughts at the end and give our final rating as the Mixtapes and Tasty Cakes panel. So, here we go. Nitro, Out Fucking Rageous. Coming in at number 9, Out Fucking Rageous. What do you got?
Title track.
I don't know. I mean, everything, all the vocals were pretty much falsetto. So there was nothing, there was hardly anything in like a full voice singing. Like
you can't understand the words.
Yeah, there was like regular singing voice. It's not like it's not difficult to sing in falsetto. Kind of anybody could really do that, but it's layered so many fucking times, and it's like that on every song. So they all sound the same. Everything's really fast. You can't understand what he's saying, like Mike's saying, until it gets to the chorus. It is. I mean, the title is Out O.F.R. Out Fucking Rageous. Every song is. For that, I gave it a 4.
All right, Mike, O.F.R.
Yes, it's very. How do you want to say? In your face, very loud, very unlistenable at sometimes.
Yeah,
but I mean, I was 13, 14 when this came out. And my young mind loved it. So now a little bit different. I mean, I gave this one a 6.1. I think I gave everything on the album at least a half a point or a point higher than it should have been. Just out of sentimental value of it. And it made me smile for a little bit, but I definitely had a headache at the end of this one. But yeah, so basically, I guess this came at a time when the PMRC was kind of really big. with the anti cursing and music and stuff like that. So basically, this song I think was set to push the boundaries of the word "fuck" in a song, which I think at the time it was a record. I don't remember how many times they used it in it, but they said it a lot, and that was the whole premises of this song. Out fucking rageous. There you go.
Yeah. So to use one of Mike's quotes that he uses in all the shows. Yeah. By this point of the album, I had enough. Or as Mike would say, I was exhausted by this point of the album.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had enough of the high pitched vocals. It was just a bit too much for me. Skip on this song. 4.25 for me. Bring It Down. Coming in at number 8. What do you got, Damo?
I mean, if you take the vocals out of it, it's basically like a speed metal thrash song, this one. But here you got the vocals, man, and they just I don't know, man. It's all like super falsetto, and then every song is like that with the vocals. It really does kill it.
Very effective, very layered.
And then when the chorus comes, it's layered. So it's very sweet influence, the chorus. If you listen to Sweet, not Ballroom Blitz, like their real stuff, it's just like this Nitro, except it's actually good. I mean, this stuff is just like,
yeah, I'm not too familiar with much of Sweet.
Yeah, if you heard them, like their choruses are like this, like
very sugary.
Well, I mean, just because their name is Sweet, dude. There's
no. I didn't.
They had some heavy. They had some heavy songs, but as far as their choruses, are extremely layered. It sounds like a choir singing almost, which is like this. It's and all the songs are like that, man. It's just like it's crazy. I gave this song a 4 also.
Mike D, Bring It Down.
I gave it a 6, which is probably my second lowest, tied a few times. Yeah, not much more to say about this than Damien said right there. It's just falsetto, falsetto, falsetto.
Bring It Down, I gave a 5. The music is thrashy. The vocals are in the King Diamond area, but not as good as King Diamond.
I was kind of thinking that it's like King Diamond times 100.
Yeah, I enjoy the King Diamond stuff way more. This is just another filler track for me. Coming in at number 7, Shot Heard Round the World. It's a shot heard round the world.
It's your basic metal guitar riff, but with falsetto vocals.
That's all he's got.
It's a slower song. A little better than the other two. I gave it a 4.75.
Okay, Mike D.
I'm going to mention it. This was like a Kiss song done Nitro style.
I can kind of hear that.
Everything about it kind of reminded me of Kiss song from the lyrics, except it was done extra.
Yeah.
I can hear that.
What did you give it, Mike?
I gave us a 6.
Okay. Shot Heard Around the World, I gave it 4.5. It was my lowest score on the record. Big 80s shout intro. The verses are a bit annoying vocally. The pre-chorus is okay, but I'm not really into this one. This is definitely a skip for me. Coming in at number 6, Fighting Mad. What do you got, Damo?
I like the guitar and drums. It has it comes out with a cool drum fill. And this one, he's kind of singing low a little bit, so it's a little bit more bearable. I actually kind of wish the guitars were layered more, just like the vocals were layered like crazy, just to fatten it up, because I thought the guitar sound is like a little thin, like not overproduced, which could be a good thing or bad. But with that being said, I liked it. It's one of the better tracks. And I gave it a 5.5.
Wow. Mike D.
I gave this one a 6. I don't know. I probably could have gave it lower. Probably could have gave it higher. I don't know. I thought for what it was, the chorus was kind of cool on that one. It had sort of driving force, the rhythm on it. But yeah, my ears right now, not for this.
Fighting Mad, I gave a 4.75.
Hmm.
Big drum intro. The riff reminds me of Van Halen a bit. Then here comes the over the top vocals. Then here comes the bumblebee guitar. After the
I'm, I'm,
bumblebee guitar kind of goes
I'm
into
glad you
growly
mentioned that,
vocals.
'cause I got to step in for a minute, Bert.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know. You play with a lot of guitars and everything, but is it me, or is every guitar solo one this the same, except for like a little there?
It's
But
not the
everything
same, but it hits
sounds like
that
he's going.
it hits that same
It's
kind of
like,
format of how
yeah, like you said, everything's like that little bumblebee. I mean,
Yeah.
for me, it's like I'm like, oh my god, it's the same guitar solo again. Oh, that part's
Yeah,
different. Oh, it's the
it's
same
kind of
guitar solo.
his.
That's a little different, but it's the
That's like
same
his
guitar solo.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's his thing. It's
Mhm.
just how many notes I can play.
Yeah.
It goes into the growly vocals in the high pitched pre-chorus, which is not audible. I mean, you can't really fucking make out a word. Yeah, filler track, probably a skip song. Yep, I get better after this, but they're my ones that are pretty bad. The first couple. All right, coming to number 5, Long Way From Home. What do you got there, Demo?
This was refreshing to hear this song because it actually sounds like a normal song.
Mhm.
It's almost got like a little Zeppelin feel, got a little bluesier, but then the vocals come in. It just makes it like, come on, man, just can't you sing normal like with the falsetto stuff? It's like it's just too much, man. It's just too much. It ruined it. Like this, probably if any song had a chance of being a hit,
It was a release.
It was a release. It did okay. Yeah,
a hit. I'm talking about that.
Oh, well.
If any song had a chance of being a hit,
it was a
it
good
would have
written
been.
song. Yeah,
It would have been this one if
Yeah.
the vocals were normal. But I gave it a 5.25.
Mike D.
This is my lowest ranking on here, man. I really just even back then, this was like a skipper track for me. I gave this a 5, and that's even being a little bit generous of
That's
me.
low for you.
Yeah.
It's the lowest one.
Yeah,
This record. Yeah,
and I mean, like Damien said, it started out, but I mean, I felt like the baby babies. It was just like a Led Zeppelin song in the beginning. And I'm like, it was just, I don't know, everything just cliche of a power ballad song, pretty much,
well,
until
what
it
was.
kicked in and it went Nitro style. But I really don't like this song.
Long Way From Home. I gave it a 7.5. Yeah, the ballad. They also released this and a video for the song as well. Cool guitar intro. I thought the guitar intro was really good. I thought the vocals were pretty good. I mean, Jim Gillette, he could sing. I think the song's pretty good overall. It's a late 80s ballad. Pretty solid chorus, pre-chorus. It's what everybody was doing at the time, except he had the big high.
You're going so high, your microphone's cutting out.
Yeah, right. Yep. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's a ballad of the time for me. A little Nitro style on there. Coming in at number 4. Nasty reputation. Nasty reputation. What do you got, Damo? Damo, you there?
Oh man, it's like
You should have been all over this song.
dude. It's kind of like Steel Panther, or like Weird Al or something. But
Oh my God.
These guys were drop dead serious about it. It's at least maybe they weren't. I don't know. Maybe the joke's on us, but I don't know. I wasn't really into this one too much, and I gave it a 4.5.
Well, I really thought you would have liked this one. Definitely thought you would.
The guitar riffs. I could actually, I could be okay with the overplaying with the guitar, and the drums are great, but the vocal, I just don't like the sound, man. It just.
I think it's tougher when you get older. I don't know.
It just sounds real fake. It just sounds so fake. It sounds like a cartoon or something. Like
I mean,
I don't.
But I mean, I don't know. I think this album was kind of put out like this on purpose. Like I think they were trying to go to the max.
Extreme.
I think that balls to the wall.
Sure.
Like
Yeah.
I don't think they were trying to be like hit makers. I just think they were trying to do their own thing, kind of. But and
outrageous, out fucking outrageous.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely lived up to its name.
Yeah, Hey, if
Yep.
that's what they're going for, they definitely achieved that
But
one.
I mean, it's. I would say, as far as like the glam era goes, it's probably one of the more unique albums. Like whether that's good or bad, that's your
Oh, it's
decision.
definitely unique.
But it's definitely one of the more unique albums out there.
What did you give this one, Dean?
I gave it a 4.5.
Okay, Mike D, what do you got for it?
This one was a little bit better for me. I gave it a 6.5. Yeah, a cool little song. A little bit annoying on the vocals at points, but not as bad as some of the other ones.
I gave this one a 7.25. Maybe the glammiest song on the record. I kind of like this one. I wouldn't skip it. I like the verses. I actually like the vocal style in the verses. Decent pre-chorus. I do like the chorus. The over-the-top speed solo is ridiculous. You know, that never does nothing for me. That really don't do nothing for me. But I kind of like this song. I like the chorus. Demo. Going in number 3, Machine Gun.
Yeah.
It
Eddie.
it starts out good. Like I'm digging it, man. You know, and then and then here comes this big scream. Ooh. And then it's just game over. It's just game over. It's like the longest scream too. Ever.
With 32 seconds or something like
Yeah,
that.
I think the whole intro is like almost like 2 minutes. It's like fucking long, man.
I kind of thought that was cool, but
At the time,
dude, it's fucking long.
it is. But
it's a super, super, super long scream.
I mean, if that's real, that's impressive. That's impressive.
I gave it a 5.
I thought Damien was going to love this record. Mike D, what do you got for Machine Gun Eddie?
This is probably my best on the album. This is probably, even back then, this was my favorite song for some reason. I don't know why. It makes me smile for some reason. It's heavy. It's just like the whole intro. I think the whole music on the intro is cool. And then he starts screaming over the top of it, which just makes it even more over. I mean, and then the song kicks in, and it's just in your face. It's loud. And the chorus, you just get Machine Gun Eddie.
Cool girl seems like
I give this one an 8. I like this song. This is if I had to listen to one song off this album all the time, it would be this one.
Yeah, I gave this one a 7. It's kind of got its own it's a little ripper here and there, especially when it goes into that horror synth part. When it goes in that little part, that's awesome. Then, you know, I do like the drums too on this. Then it goes in that over the top note holding for no reason at all.
No, it's very
man.
pointless.
It's a long scream. I mean,
I
It goes on
remember
forever.
I remember because like the MTV, he was on MTV like when this came out a lot on Headbangers Ball, and they were like, he could break glass with his voice.
well,
Yeah.
there's a video on YouTube because he used to do those.
I had it, the tapes.
Local. You had it?
Tapes. I had the tapes.
Was it metal?
I didn't
was it
learn
Metal
nothing,
Method?
evidently.
But I brought this wine glass down my basement, put it next to my speaker. It didn't break.
Well, you got to do it, Mike. You got to try to do it.
I don't think I could go that high without being kicked.
Yeah. Well, anyway, Machine Gun Eddie goes into a deep growl vocal, a deep growl vocal. It's thrashy a little bit. I don't know. I wouldn't say it's good, but I like it. Not saying it's good, but I do like it. I don't know why.
It's got a bizarreness. It's got something different.
Yeah, it's just fucking different. Number 2, Double Trouble. How about that, Damo?
I like the music. I like the music, but the I'm just gonna keep repeating myself. It's the endless falsetto stuff. But 6.5. 6.5.
I thought you were gonna love that song.
This song?
I thought this one definitely.
It's one of his highest.
One of my
highest.
My highest one so far. My second highest song, 6.5, bro. That's pretty good for Nitro.
Pretty good.
Mike D.
I gave this one a 7.5. I like this one. It's so glam though, man. It's just so cheesy, but I like it.
Yeah, I like Double Trouble. I gave it 7.75. I like this one. I like the drum fill in the beginning. I like the metal chugging guitar. I like the chorus. I like the chorus a lot, actually. It's a favorite off the album for me. The breakdown part's kind of cool. The vocals get a little lost at that breakdown part. it's so high that it blends into the music. I can't understand nothing. Might as well just be like Charlie Brown at that point. Another wacky solo. Pre-chorus is pretty good. I do like it. I do like it, that you're in trouble and double trouble. I kind of like that. I mean, whatever the fuck's going on after that, but it's ridiculous. Yeah. Coming in number one. I'm on a freight train. What do you got, Demo?
It's a classic. This song is a classic, right?
Yeah.
It's a good opening track for them. I mean, it's fucking nuts. I mean, I like this one the best. I gave it a 7. If the other songs were toned down a bit vocally, I probably would have gave the rest of the songs a better. But dude, the falsetto, so much. It's just too much. I just can't. I can't. So I just can't deal with this. So
Yeah.
that's it. 7 for me.
Mike D.
Gave this one a 7.75, my second highest on this. But yeah, man, it's a song that made me buy the album. So of course I'm going to give this one a high one. Plus, this is definitely one of their staples, I think, when they do their reunions and stuff like that. And
yeah.
It's a good song. It's a really good song. Signed
Yeah.
at times, but it's a good song.
Yeah, I gave Freight Train an 8. It was my highest score. It might have been the highest score overall, I think. Cool guitar opening, while Gillette's high-pitched scream voice is over the top, but different. This song's different. You know, when you go, ready or not, like that. It's great. I like certain stuff about it. It's a bit off the wall, but I always like the song. The guitar solo is 1,000 notes. Sounds like a video game. Sounds like Zelda or something walking through them. Or like with Pac-Man. You know, it's like that's a bit much. But I guess that's what they were going for. You know, it's got some really cool parts into it. I like the video. You know, I remember Headbangers Ball playing it, and I thought it was pretty good. So I'll go over our marks real quick before we give our final thoughts. Dame gave it a 5.166. Mike D gave it a 6.538. I gave it a 6.222. And the total is a 5.975. So it makes the average, kind of.
Little.
Is this the lowest ranking album we've
this is probably
reviewed?
the lowest ranking album we did. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. What was that one a few weeks ago? Was it the Cardiacs one that we did that Mike gave it really high and me and you gave it a kind of low score?
Yeah.
I think
it might have evened out. I got to see what we gave that. Yeah, so that's our scores for Nitro, and let's go with our final thoughts. Let's start out with Damien.
I bought this CD long time ago, just because I've heard about it, and you know, I knew of Michelangelo and Jim Gillette, and Bobby Rock was on it, you know, so it was a good enough reason to buy it. And I think I probably, this might be the second time I listened to it. I listened to it once back then. I was not into it at all. It just, the vocals just fucking killed it for me. And I like the high singing, but it's like that all the time. It's like it's too much. It's
now. Can you listen to King Diamond?
Yeah, but he changes.
It's different. Yeah,
you know, and he's playing like characters, you know, so it's not like that all the time. And the choruses aren't fucking layered, you know, with a 1,000 voices on there. Like, they don't all sound the same. This stuff, all the vocally, it all sounds the same. If they're just trying to be different and everything, they fucking achieved that goal. I mean, but when you're talking about something like memorable, good songs, it's not there for me, in my opinion.
Okay, Mike D.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I bought this when it first came out. I probably had this the first week. I loved it back then. This is in my tape deck for a long time. But then all of a sudden it wasn't. And going back to it, it's a tough listen, man. I mean, it's almost so bad it's good. I could say that, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a tough listen to it. Those vocals, especially with like these noise canceling headphones you got now. It's like back in the day, I listened to it. It was on a stereo, like a shitty stereo, so it was kind of like not as much in my face, but or in my ears. When you listen to this on some kind of noise canceling like headphone, it's really, really tough. It's tough to listen to that way.
You see, we were looking at Jericho did an episode on this like a year ago or something like that. It could have been longer. And it was like Nitro. Is it the best worst band ever or the worst best band ever?
Yeah.
To quote Jericho on that one.
I mean, all these guys can play, and you know,
Oh, incredible players, all of them. All
But
of them
it doesn't
can play.
mean, you know, on the flip side, look at Poison. Those guys couldn't play anything, but they wrote
great songs,
really good songs.
Yeah.
So it's like, what would you want?
You know what's crazy? Before I give my final thoughts on this, you know what's crazier? I was extremely disappointed when the second record came out and it wasn't as good as
oh
the
my
first.
god,
Did they do a second?
Oh
album?
yeah,
yes, they
hot,
did.
wet, drip with
Drip
sweat. Hot, wet, drip with sweat.
I didn't even know that came out.
I wonder. I might like that even more.
I don't know, man.
Johnny Died on Christmas is a good
that was
song.
the best song.
That's
But
a good song.
I remember I was going through like a Columbia House thing, picking songs out, picking albums out on there, and I see fucking Nitro. I was like, I didn't know they had a second one out. I'm like, I like the first one. I'm like,
I was disappointed.
I put on. I'm like, and this is probably 10 years later, so I'm in my 20s now at this point.
You might not register this much.
Yeah, it did, but it just didn't have that same feel. There's something missing from it.
On the second one you're talking about?
Yeah.
I
wet, drip with sweat.
I wonder if I like that even.
It's not on Spotify.
It's not on Spotify.
Oh, it's not.
You might have to go to YouTube for that.
Yeah.
So my final thoughts. Even though I didn't give this record a huge score, it is a guilty pleasure of mine. I listen to it from time to time, at least once a year. I have no clue why. I really don't. But sometimes I just got to put this record on. It starts off really strong for the first 4 songs, then it flutters with the exception of Nasty Reputation demo. The album's just way too much. It's too much. But, you know, sometimes it's not a bad thing. For some reason, I still play it. I still kind of like it. Even though it's got a low score.
I'll tell you this. I'm listening to it right now on YouTube, and I like it more already. It's better.
Hot, wet, drip, and sweat.
A song called the first track, "I Want You."
Yeah. I have to go back to it. I haven't heard it.
I don't even remember most of it. I just remember I didn't like it.
Hot, wet, dripping with sweat.
Johnny Died on Christmas. That's the best song on the record.
Johnny Died on Christmas.
They did a good Catch Scratch Fever, if I remember.
Yeah, that was on there.
Huh.
Yeah, that was a good one. Me and Mike were actually looking at some of the other stuff. You know, they did like a reunion not too long ago with that. The only original guys were Michelangelo and Jim Gillette.
But nothing happened. Yeah, Chris Adler was supposed to play drums.
Chris Adler. Yeah, what was Chris Adler in? What band's he?
Lamb of God.
Lamb of God. That's it. I've seen some clips. It sounded pretty good.
I mean, really, for what it was, they weren't on like a big stage.
No, it was small. They were like in India or something. And
or Philippines or something.
The kids were going nuts.
Oh, they actually played a gig?
Yeah, dude.
Gigs, yeah.
This is probably about 7 years ago, maybe.
Yeah. It was packed. Well, it wasn't a huge place,
but it was like it was like foreign. They were all like Philippine kids, and like they were young, like maybe like I'm going to say like 15, like early 30s, maybe they. It's like I'm like wow. I was like this should have been. They shouldn't even know who this band.
They were freaking out over.
And they were loving it.
He was in the crowd. They did a bunch of covers also, which actually sounded pretty cool. You got to realize now he sings. I guess he sings the other songs the way he normally sings, probably, right? So because the guy could actually sing, but even like now, you look at the way they look back then, and then you look at him now. He looks like a UFC fighter now.
Yeah, totally I think he is like he's like really into UFC.
Oh yeah, he looks like he'll mess you up. Yeah, don't make fun of Nitro to his face.
He was a pretty big dude back then, but he was all glammed up. Now, now he's like thick, you know.
Well, he had that vocal tape out, if I remember, right?
Yeah,
was that before? No, you probably had it.
Before.
It was before Nitro, but I had it probably.
He said he did.
Yeah. I might have got a thrift store where, like, if there was 4 tapes, I had 2. Maybe I didn't. That's why I didn't learn nothing. The other.
I just remember seeing some of the clips. And doing all those weird facial.
What do you do for your voice, Bert? Chew tobacco. That's the answer.
I chew tobacco. I chew.
Makes you sound like Paul Diano really quick. It gets extra spit in there. So yeah, the Nitro stuff. Interesting band, and they came out, I guess, 89.
89 this
right?
came out.
So
it's probably done in 88 somewhere. Probably then.
You know what's weird? And you would see ads for them where they were all glammed up, and then like a couple months later, you would see ads where they look more like they
Guns
were
N' Roses.
construction. Yeah, it was. It was
Funny.
yeah, very very interesting. It's a unique record. If you never heard it, you should go listen to it. And don't go by our scores, but remember, it's for
Hey,
the
you
time.
might love it.
You might love it. I still listen. I gave it a low score, and I still listen to it. So I don't know what the hell that means. So
It has
you
a
have
place. It does. It has its place.
not for Damo, it don't.
Nah,
Not for
I'm
Damo,
good.
it don't.
I'm good. It's not for me.
I
Not
thought
for me.
Damien was going to be loving this record.
Nah, I mean, I love some really, really bad stuff, but
Not
on
You
this
know what's
level.
funny, man? Like, cause like I was listening on Spotify and like I'm like doing stuff like down my basement as I'm doing it, and like the album ends, and then another song comes on. I'm like, wow, this is pretty bad. I was like, I got to go run over and see what this is, and it was a Banshee or something like that. I'm like, I never heard of that, but
Yeah.
it was bad.
it was Banshee.
Do you remember that, Bert?
I know the
remember.
name. I don't remember the band. I don't remember the band. You know who I did stump
Yeah.
over, but and I actually thought was pretty good? That Bo Nasty band. I was like, yo, this band wasn't
Oh,
that bad.
nasty. Yeah, I had the
I
cassette
don't
tape.
know. I never
I
heard
had.
that.
I don't remember. And the other one, no, not Bo Nasty.
Baton
I'm
Rouge?
sorry. Baton Rouge was the one I'm thinking of. I was
I
like,
heard
dude,
of them.
actually
I
pretty
remember
good.
that name.
I worked
Yeah.
at Strawberries Records and I had one of them, but I didn't remember because I was getting everything at that time. I didn't care. I was buying everything.
That was like the names you saw in the magazines, but you never heard anything. It was like Baton Rouge,
Baton
Dogs
Rouge.
D'Amour.
Because
If
they
you
weren't
like
even on
80s
MTV.
metal,
Yeah.
If you like 80s metal, Baton Rouge. Not bad.
Yeah,
It was a
Rouge.
good
Yeah, I remember
stumble over.
I'll be your savior, I'll be your traitor, I'll be the one